On today's episode of Kilts and Culture with USA Kilts, we try Tamdhu 12-year.
Gonna tell you if we Tamdhu or don't like it.
That's how we're starting off 2026 with
Damn right.
a dad joke. Okay.
The history of the Gallic lands is one of struggle, punctuated by moments of sheer brilliance.
Tartan is Scotland's gift to the world, and it is your personal heritage story. I just realized in the intro,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a flat cap.
How weird.
Interesting. Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome to Kilt and Culture. I'm Rocky. That's Erik.
Yo.
And today, special treat, Tamdhu 12-year. The dad jokes write themselves with this one.
They sure Tamdhu.
Indeed. So, we're trying Tamdhu 12-year. All right. Mr. Mac. Oh, today we have Mr. Mac in the studio with us, and I realized I'm supposed to have it.
Mac
already.
almost went the wrong direction to get.
Oh, stretch my back out.
Oh, okay. You're a mess. What's going on?
I know.
Are you an old man now, Mac?
I'm getting there. I'm trying to catch up to you.
Ooh.
So, hey, may you never pass me.
Yeah, there we go.
So, Mac, what tartan do you have on there today?
I have the Scrimgeour muted on today.
Scrimgeour.
Ooh, very nice, very pretty,
Wow.
very pretty. All right, Erik, what do you have on?
The old County Wexford.
County Wexford.
Aye.
Very good, very good. And today I have on a brand spanking new, must be spanked, new tartan. The America 250 tartan, which was released today. Technically yesterday. We
Yeah.
soft launched it, but today it's official. Do a little thing on that in the middle of the show. Anyway, all right, so for the Tamdhu and the Tam don't. Mr. Mac, what do we got?
All right, so it's a rich and silky spray side single malt.
Speyside.
Yeah, that's it. So
Speyside. That's where they spray the whiskey.
Spray. That's natural color, no chill for filtration, a flavor profile bursting with dried fruit, spice, and a whisper of smoke.
Sherry casks it had on there as well.
I always like sherry casks.
I definitely get the sherry hint
for sure.
in here.
It's more than a hint.
Yeah, it's a punch in the tonsils.
Very.
It's not that whisper of smoke.
It's not whispering.
I'm not
Maybe.
getting the smoke yet. But
So the nose should be rich with enchanting aromas of iced cinnamon rolls, orange boiled sweets, raisins, sweet oak, and a hint of mint.
mint.
I don't get cinnamon rolls at all.
Neither do I.
I get the raisins, kind of that that sweet, fruity kind of smell.
See, I'm going kind of a mouthwashy mint.
You get the mint that much, huh?
I get a little bit of the oakiness. I get the fruitiness, but again, it's sherry. I'm getting the sherry tone. I think they're saying cinnamon because you're getting a little bit of the burn up your nose, a little spiciness. They're trying to rationalize that as cinnamon.
Maybe. I'm getting a lot.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's trying to gas it off real quick a little bit. All right.
To
So
be
what are we
clear,
getting?
I like it. It's a nice nose. It smells good.
It was born with this nose. All right, Mac. What are we getting on the palate?
On the palate is a silky and mouth coating with flavors of banana, berry jam, malt biscuit, and a classic sherry oak depth.
Getting a lot of sherry still.
Very, very sherry. Are you getting burny on the sides?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting a little burny on the sides of my tongue.
Yeah. Maybe getting burny on the tip.
You should see a doctor about that.
Literally, you beat me to it. All right.
The finish is long and balanced, revealing ground spice, dried fruit. There's a lot of dried fruit in this. Soft Scottish tablet, and the faintest whisper of peat smoke.
You're leading the witness. Like maybe I could get a little bit of smoke.
gonna say.
like
Yeah.
a touch, but
I'm
getting a lot of sherry. I'm getting I often describe it as like the metallic taste in your mouth. So I get a little bit on the sides, but not so much that it's kicked over to the kind of phase. Yeah. I'm gonna open it up with a drop or two. See what I like. See if I like it there. All right, where's the little hole to cover on the side there? There you go. All right. My pipette.
Order up.
Did we ever figure out if it's pipette or pipette? It's probably pipette.
I always said pipette.
I know. All right. So with a little touch of water. Little touch of water brought down the metallic-y bit on the sides. Definitely brought it down a bit. Let's come back around. Got a little bit more, but
I can get it further back.
yeah, it mellowed it out a tiny bit, just a tiny bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a big gap, like a big change.
yeah. It's definitely not very spicy. It's not very like over the top anything aside from sherry. I get a lot of sherry in it.
very sherry. A little bit of caramel. I'm getting.
Okay. All right, Mac, how are you feeling about it? Rate this puppy 1 to 10.
I'm gonna go 4.9.
Okay.
That low. Okay.
Okay. Erik.
I'm gonna say 6-7. I actually kind of like this.
6, 7.
It's
Oh, I had to. This is for all of our younger viewers who are interested in our Scotch opinions. I'm going to show this to Liam later on. 6, 7, dude. right.
No, I mean it's sweet. It's very sherry. I'm enjoying it. It's nice. It's not.
Okay.
I don't think their flavor profile is distinct as I think, but
Yeah.
but it's good.
I'm going to go 6.3. I don't love it. Definitely think there are much better space sides. Much better space sides, especially for the price. This is like $75. So it's not cheap. It's not real high. You know, it's middle of the road kind of expense. But there are better ones for $75 in my estimation. So, okay. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
That is our rating. Boys and girls, we are, as always, but your humble servants here to answer whatever questions you have, kilts or culture related, so load those down in the comments. And we are here, but your humble servants, to answer them for you.
Ta-da.
While we're waiting for Mac to amalgamate some comments, what do we have submitted before the show?
Bunch of questions on a piece of paper.
Nice.
It's right here, Rocky. I
They
got it
came
right
on
here.
a piece of paper? That was
They
very kind of
did
people.
by carrier pigeon.
Yes.
Tony Duffy from Facebook says, my DNA says that we are related to members of our clan who had been adopted in or were illegitimate.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can we wear clan colors or do we need to choose something else?
So, he doesn't know. Could be bastard child, could be regular child, just adopted kind of thing. Don't know.
There's a mismatch of grandparent
Yes.
people apparently at some point in the past.
Yes. The short answer is sure. Where would you like? Broadly speaking, do you have to be blood related to a particular clan to wear a particular clan? No. I would even go so far as to say, I'll probably go further, but a sept, for instance, of a clan isn't necessarily blood related to the clan. So the fact that you were adopted into the clan, or even if you weren't adopted, it was just, your I'm going to make things up. Your great ex-grandmom had an affair with somebody and, never told great-great-grandpop, and great-great-great-grandfather was born. So, great-great-grandpop raised him anyway. Great-great-grandmom raised him. And if they didn't know, there's nothing saying you aren't part of the thing. Like, it's not some, big secret that all of a sudden you're kicked out of said clan. And you're still, part of the clan. So, yeah. I'd say I wouldn't worry about it. I'd still wear the clan tartan if I wanted to wear the clan tartan.
Yep. I don't really have anything to add. I mean, but to borrow a phrase from my indigenous friends, it's not a blood quantum thing. Okay? Historically, a clan was pretty loose because it was more about politics and military protection and coordination than it was about blood relations. I mean, you very definitely had a differentiation between the bloodline of the chief directly But even that is later, because originally you would elect new chiefs. In most clans at least, it was down to an election process, not an inheritance. So yeah, we're talking about association of convenience above all else, practical things, tribal things, practicality. So if anything, I think it just makes the story more interesting. You have more conversation points when you're talking about your connection with people over a pint, basically.
Yeah. And I'm reminded of our buddy Bill Whelan when he was here, a friend from Scotland. He used to work at House of Edgar. When I was talking to him, he literally said, "Well, the joke in Scotland is you wear your mother's tartan because you always know who your mother is. You don't necessarily know who your dad is."
Anyway, went with his mum because he says you never know who your father is actually, but you know your mum.
This is kind of case in point for that.
Yeah.
So it's still back in the same family tree. Yeah, and I would even say, especially if it was an adoptive thing, not just an illegitimate child thing, but if it was an adopted thing where let's say your great-great-grandfather knew that there was some infidelity or your great-great-grandma had a child from a previous marriage and da-da-da-da, and your great-great-grandfather adopted your great-grandfather. Great. Then it's adoption. So it's officially within the clan. No, it's not through blood, but it's by choice. And you could actually argue that by your great-great-grandfather saying, no, I'm officially adopting you. I'm inviting you into my family. I'm accepting you legally as well as emotionally. Then great. You are as much a member of the family as anybody else.
Yeah.
Because it's not just by chance, it's by choice. So there.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, they didn't worry as much about illegitimacy in the pre-modern age as they did 19th century and going forward. It's just everybody knew it happened. It just happened. So the bottom line was you need to find somebody to take care of the kid. Okay. If you got that covered, fine. And it's just, again, very pragmatic, practical people. You just rolled with it. I think your point about septs is very important too, because honestly, septs in the modern age become very, and again, I'm talking Victorian period when I'm talking modern age, became very abstract, shall we say. You had clans going out and claiming names for septs because it helped their numbers. So they got better clout in various social ways, various economic ways. So like in the Victorian age, you had all these people claiming like Smith. I was like, no, you can't have all the Smiths. Those Smiths are mine. It's like you have these odd septs, some of which where the names barely appear in Scotland itself. But nope, they're all septs of our clan. They're ours. Can you prove it? Yes, just not today. Yeah, so it's fine. Don't let perfection get in the way of you expressing your heritage.
And as a wise man once said, I'm trying to paraphrase myself from the opening, it's your expression of your heritage. So this is now part of your story. The fact that you have this in your own personal family story, then it's just part of the story. So no one's expression of your family heritage is correct or incorrect. It's yours. It's the way you choose to express it. It's the way you choose to celebrate it. So if you are celebrating it with that particular clan tartan, have at it. If you want to choose a different tartan or a different, angle to the story, have at that as well.
Yeah, if for some reason you feel weird about it, I would say you could still go with a district tartan or some other options there in other places of your family line. Or you could just add those on just for fun. Again, people get way too caught up in the particulars of this kind of thing.
Yep.
Washte.
Indeed. Cheers. Mr. Mack.
All right, so I missed where it came from, the question. I know it's a YouTube, but I was scrolling back to find the name. But it said, "Hey guys, just want to get in line with my question since I have to run into work. Just had a baby boy in October, so congratulations.
Congratulations.
Looking for his first kilt, PV or Velcro, PV and Velcro, or something more high end for a keepsake."
All Velcro. You can just stick them to the wall.
So, PV with Velcro, or a real kilt, a wool kilt.
I got my answer.
For a keepsake.
I know what I'd say.
is money a thing? Is money an issue? Because kind of the answer is both. You have like the original first kilt, and then you get another one, or you get yourself a kilt and you make his from a wool kilt, and you make his from the scraps. So that way you can have a little tiny baby infant kilt.
Depends on how big a bouncing baby barn you got there. I mean,
That's fair. Well, it's
I don't know.
yeah. Well, you can order a touch more cloth just to make the kids, but
I'm surprised. I thought you would steal my thunder this time.
go ahead.
My answer would be do the PV and Velcro, because diapers and exploding diapers, and invest in a wool piece of tartan that can be a blanket or a decorative, floof in the bassinet when you do photography. And in the future, it could still be used as a wall hanging or a home decor piece, or worn, depending on how big it is. I mean, you don't have to worry about it fitting anybody. It's just a piece of fabric. People save baby blankets all the time. Why not have a tartan baby blanket as the memento?
I don't disagree. I'm a little concerned about the scratchiness with
agree.
sensitive baby skin. I do like the
Wouldn't that be
idea.
a concern with a kilt too, though?
If I'm doing the reason why I started with is money a thing is because what I would do would probably, if I'm independently wealthy, where's my monocle? So if money is not an issue, then I get the wool kilt as the keepsake family passed down, You put the kid in it once, you do the photos and the little basket thing right out of the hospital, or he's from October, he said. But, you do that one for the photos first, and then you put them in a PV kilt that's a little bit bigger. So you have to, that one's the more strategic. That one's the one that can be thrown in the wash due to diapers and babies.
I just don't know what you do with a miniature kilt. I mean, it's so cute. Okay, put it back in the box.
Same. What do you do with baby booties? Now, I'm not going to say bronze the wool kilt, but you can.
But this is the difference between me and other people. It's like my wife and I never went into the whole commemorative baby booties or getting the shoes bronzed or any of that BS. We just didn't care, So
you're saying my bronze baby booties from when I was a little baby? It's fine.
They should be melted down and turned into ammunition. Yes.
Brass. But yeah.
So, yeah, I stand by my recommendation of doing the blanket, because you could use it for other occasions too.
Okay.
Mac is trying to.
I was gonna say something you could do with it once, either shadow box it, or depending on where it'll live. Where is that kilt going to live for a while? Meaning, is it going to stay at your parents' house, or is it going to travel with the kid once the kid eventually moves out? Could go on like a stuffed bear or a stuffed animal of some sort that just kind of can hang out wherever.
I like where your head's at with
I like
that,
that.
Mac.
Yeah.
Indeed. So wool kilt that you put on a stuffed bear afterwards. Mac and I win. Eric loses.
No,
this is a competition.
I thought Mac was coming down. Okay.
No.
I thought Mac was on my side. Just tartan.
I wasn't saying which
Whose side are you on, Mac?
I wasn't saying which one to go with. I'm just saying what to do with it later.
Don't fight, Mom and Dad. Anyway, yeah, but I think budget is a factor. I would lean more towards having the tartan cloth, and then because it's more flexible. You said shadow box, but so you meant the kilt in the shadow box.
Yeah.
I could see the tartan piece as a background for photos, or bronzed booties, if you must.
Yeah, I was thinking shadow box, putting it in there with like the feet prints, or maybe the early
Little tiny sporran.
Yeah, there you go. The little picture, just a whole variety of different things you could put in with it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Loch Ness monster teething nook.
Is that the noise of Loch Ness monster?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not often I do a squeaky toy impression as improv.
Right. There you go. The tape over the bottom kind of hurts it. All right, very good. Eric.
Marty loved that.
Have fun with it. No matter what you do, get lots of photos.
Indeed. Yes, they're only that little once.
Sure.
100% on to get lots of photos.
Hopefully. Okay, Andrew Cooper from Facebook said there are optimistic and pessimistic views of the rise of artificial intelligence. Dun, 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 dun. What pros and cons do you see for the Celtic kilt community when it comes to AI? How is AI going to impact what we do, what kilt people do?
Sure. What kilt people do, what kilt companies do, we'll broaden it a little bit. Is AI a good thing or a bad thing? Is it the end of humanity or the beginning of the next? I think there's things that it'll do well, and I think there's things that it won't do as well. Amalgamating and crunching data using AI agents within a company. Like if House of Edgar said, like, I want to know, my best-selling tartans and project out what it's going to be for next year based on these parameters, or, here's some designs. What do you think this is going to sell? Da, 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 da. Maybe that could work for them. As far as content-related stuff for AI, you really, whether it's kilt related or not, you got to take it all with a grain of salt. There's a lot of AI slop out there now. I, being who I am, seeing the algorithm that I see, I get a lot of Celtic and kilt related content in my algorithm. Get a lot of Viking type related content as well, and you can always, for now, tell the AI videos, because the people move in a very particular kind of way. It's almost cartoonish, but not really. They're closing the uncanny valley. But it's the data points are the things that scare me, where it gets 80 to 90% correct, and then there's the gaps that it fills in, and it's not quite right, or it makes some guesses. Or it gets data from websites that are just like, old wives' tales kind of things, regurgitated, spit out.
Hallucinations.
Hallucinations as well.
Yeah.
But from websites that have incorrect information. Like crap in, crap out. If you have poor quality data, if you have a let's say it scours The Onion, the famous, fake news site, for actual data, and then just regurgitates that information, it's going to be wrong. It's going to be a lie. So I'm concerned with the slop that I see being close to correct, but not really. It's probably not much more, if I'm looking at it realistically, than people just regurgitating old wives' tales and things that they heard their grandfather tell them in 1982 and trying to remember what that was and putting it forward as this is the truth.
That is a major problem in history, always, pre-AI age. And it's also a problem with the modern journalism. And there's more than one case where you get the circular loop of a bad story gets read by somebody, and somebody writes an article, and then they refer back to that story as their reference, and it just goes round and around and around. But you're talking about culture and passing on of knowledge. Okay, so not the technical side of kilts as fashion, or kilts as something people wear or make, like the industry. Yeah.
Now, would I don't see, knocking on wood, I don't see AI. And don't anyone do this, please, for the record. I don't see AI designing successful tartans. I see it as a tool, not the thing. So I could see it, helping, amalgamate information for a script, or for ideas, or help crunch data. I think that's where it will be good, by taking mass amounts of information and kind of boiling it down, while at the same time being able to point out sources that it was using for the data. So if you say, this part sounds weird, why did you say this? It can point and say, here's where I got it from. But I think there's always going to be a human element. There's always going to be a human driver, a human final eye on the thing, or at least there should be for quality's sake. I think AI can get us, at least currently, to 80 to 90% good, but it's the artist that takes it to the nth degree, or keeps pushing it forward and finalizing it.
I don't know about that 80 or 90% thing.
It depends on what the topic is.
Yeah.
If it's research versus actual art.
Yeah. how you treat the research, how you treat the data is as important as the data itself. But again, I don't know. We're talking about problems with society in general, not necessarily kilts in general. I disagree. I think that sometime soon you will see people using AI to generate tartan.
Oh, I agree. No, I think
It
people
won't
are
be.
gonna do it.
It may not be great looking, but they will do it. I mean, I'm sure they're doing it now. You know, design me a tartan. I want it to be red, green, and black, and yellow, and I want the red to be the largest stripe. You know, and the more parameter, it's like you always say about AI that, you know, we use here is basically make sure that the prompt has as much detail in it as possible. And I think the more people learn as lay people, not necessarily as professionals, to generate prompts that have a lot of detail in them, the more likely as people will come up with tartans, which they may not realize look bad, or they might come up with an AI generated tartan that is a starting point.
Yeah.
And then finish it off with a human element, but I think it's going to happen. I'm more concerned about how it might impact the ability of knockoff products and stuff, basically, and again, the whole slop thing, like, oh, you can get your family tartan on this pair of running shoes, and oh yeah, okay, and that's it, okay.
That already
And it's only
exists, and
$25.
It's
but
just finding the fly damage and then screen
Yeah,
printing
and
it on fabric.
yeah, I mean,
Now here's my silver lining a little bit, at least for now. The any AI tartan design I've seen, the warp and the weft are usually different, and or all the designs are either asymmetrical or they don't repeat accurately. So it looks like a bad photoshopped together, you know, design that's kind of close. It has the idea, but not the full thing. Mac, you're shaking your head
a lot of the comments have been saying that too. The set isn't right. There's always something off with it.
Yeah.
But then I have a comment here that says you just threw one in the chat. GPT and a change to a muted palette. It was pretty. He said, but it was pretty generic. But it's so easy to flip through. Again, I think it's a good starting point, especially if you're got tartan block.
Yeah.
At least get you a little thinking maybe outside the box a little bit.
Yeah. It is a tool. If you treat it like a tool, then I think we as humans will be able to, you know, fold it into the things that we are doing. It's versus treating it as the final thing. Like I don't want to replace my kilt makers with robots. I don't want to replace my customer service team downstairs. Like I have real good humans who have actual knowledge of things, and I'd rather use them than an AI bot. Could you use AI bots to, like, you know, what's the status of my order, or where is this package, or is this thing in stock? What are your hours? Sure, those types of questions, as long as there is a human ready to answer the actual tough questions. That would be my thought.
Real tough questions like, will my wife let me buy this?
How do you lie to your wife? Now, it could give you a
It
script.
could give you suggestions on that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think, I don't know. I can see a new segment of the market where everything is printed on polyester.
It already exists.
I know, but it's going to be faster and easier to do. The whole point of that they talk about with AI is that, oh, it took us so much time and so many hours and effort to do this before, and now you just push a button. So, I mean, who's to say you can't just have print on demand kilts, you know, and tartan.
Those things already exist.
Or what about automatic weaving? I mean,
Define automatic. You
I don't
still have
know.
to set it up. Now, there are companies that actually there's entire companies. You may not get it in your ad feed, but there's entire companies like, hey, type in your tartan, and it has a list of
I know,
literally
I've seen that.
thousands of tartans.
I've seen that.
You can print it on a shirt. You can print it on shoes. You can print it on your Doc Martens. You can print it on, you know, purse. You can print it on a jacket. All these different products, and it's literally just a print on demand cut and sew, where they just print it onto pure polyester and then cut out the pieces and sew
Yeah.
the thing together for you.
yeah, I just think that's gonna get faster and cheaper.
Yeah, it's
I do think that the effect on the knowledge base is probably the much more important thing, is the hearsay or hallucinations or anecdotes randomly recorded that get turned into facts and big news stories and everything. I think that's really the issue. Incorrect history. And the answer to that is still the same that it always has been, which is basically read a book. Don't get your information off of computers,
Or
ideally.
Yeah. Or it's what concerns me is if for the history angle, if AI is reading the existing things that are out there. Again, back to my Onion as a good example. Back to the Onion website. It reads incorrect historical data and then bases a new article that it's written off of that data plus other things. So 10% of the article, I'm making up a number, 10% of the article is wrong. And then a bunch of other chatbots write a bunch of other articles with quoting that same exact thing.
Right.
And it eventually proliferates.
And that's the journalism issue that I've been talking about, except that until now it's been people making those mistakes and not checking their sources, whereas now it's going to be, LLMs doing it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Hell in a handbasket, boys and girls. Hell in a handbasket. No. Let's end this on a positive note somehow. It's all going to be fine. We'll die before it hurts us.
I don't know. We got someone predicting it'll last only a decade, and it'll be gone.
Oh, well, no. There's the bubble people.
Less than a decade, it'll be gone.
It'll never be gone.
It'll evolve.
It'll never be gone.
The genie's out of the bottle. I mean, it's Pandora's box is open. I don't think it'll ever be gone. It's going to change the way that companies crunch data. I think is really the tool that they can capitalize on. Actually, capitalize as in make money off of is through companies. There'll be robots to do simple tasks around the house and stuff as well, personal butler kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll stay around.
We could easily rabbit hole into a whole discussion about whether it's economically viable, and anybody who's looking at the feedback loop with NVIDIA and them, I understand that, but the technology exists. It'll be around in some form or other. Whether it's actually something that people make money off of or not is a whole other question. So, and how much it's destroying the environment is a whole other question.
And humanity.
Yeah. But
thank God we ended that on a positive note. All right, Mac, why don't you ask me a real depressing question that we can,
You want to just keep going down that? No. We have...
just cut the brakes. Let's go.
There are going to be robots someday. I'm just like, what is my genealogy?
I mean...
I am descended from clan IBM.
There's
from Max Headroom.
We do have one guy saying here, not a fan of the idea of a rocky robot designing tartans.
Not as long as I'm here, boys and girls. Now, I am going to Walt Disney my brain and just put it in a robot later on, but it'll still be me doing it then. That's fine.
And
exactly.
Terry Walker said in 2 years we're going to have AI videos of Mac in a thong. I mean, how do they know they don't exist now?
What makes you think I don't have videos of Mac in a thong? They don't even need to be AI.
Deepfake's a whole other thing. Now, I mean, a positive note I would say is that it could theoretically make shopping for an outfit easier because, and we've talked about this, that the idea that you could have 3D modeling that is AI driven that will allow you to say, okay, I want to see, here's my measurements, here's the tartan I want. I'm thinking about this sporran, and you can actually see a fake three-dimensional mannequin of yourself generated that shows you how you would look, wearing the complete outfit with all those combos, and it could allow you to change things easily. So a virtual sales kind of a environment, that is one thing that could be a good thing.
This person is wearing, here's a picture of somebody in an outfit. I want to look like that. Find me these parts to this outfit and where I can buy them. That's, a personal shopper.
Personal shopper agent. Yep. Or what about print and design on demand accessories? Like, I want a xenomorph killing a predator kilt pin. And, okay. I mean, it's going to be made out of pot metal, but the point is you can 3D print it and make it on demand. So... there's little things around the edges. I think there'll be things where it impacts a lot.
Yeah.
So
niche markets.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to get us back onto that. Sorry, Mac.
Oh, we're good. We're just losing people's eyes on the image of me in a thong, apparently.
And you're surprised? You're surprised at this?
I mean,
that's
a normal Friday night. I don't know what everybody's complaining about.
There you go.
I have a picture of George Costanza on the couch. Just Photoshop Mac's head onto it. It's fine.
We have
AI could do that for you.
yeah, exactly. Ian Johnson is
I want to make
asking,
them do it to have to look at the photo as they're doing it.
and then do little subtle little corrections
Yes.
here and there.
But give Mac nipple rings. There you go. Get in there, guys.
What's the color tone?
So we have-
Suddenly, our videographers quit.
Okay. Focus.
We have Ian Johnson asking, modern dress tartans, do you find yourself working with them ever? Weddings, dancers? He's asking.
Modern dress tartans. Mac, how often do we work with modern dress tartans?
I can tell you one that we work with quite a lot, and that's McLeod dress.
Yep.
A lot of people don't even realize that's a dress tartan, though.
I know, but
Yeah.
that's the one we probably work with the most.
Yeah.
I'd
Gordon?
say,
What about Gordon? Yeah.
Gordon dress?
I would say probably MacDonald.
McDonald
bit
dress?
more over-
Campbell dress?
Campbell.
Gordon
Yep.
dress?
Yeah, those would be
Okay.
the ones on a more
Yeah. They're the most
typical
popular
basis.
ones. Yeah.
I think there's a handful of dress tartans that have become popular for whatever reason. And it's probably very idiosyncratic as to why. But they seem to be used by people just as this is the version of the tartan I like, as opposed to this is the tartan I'm going to wear for a dress occasion, the way dress tartans were theoretically supposed to be in the past. In the future,
Well, it was more originally for women and feminine because it wanted a lighter color or a lighter tartan.
it was men also. But the point was it was marketing it as something for evening wear. Yes. But nowadays, more often than not, a dress tartan is associated with Highland dance, especially for costuming. And from that standpoint, we don't really work with it at all because a lot of the modern dress tartans are basically kind of a fashion tartan. It's just like something with some white in it because people tend to like it better for, costuming for doing, Highland dance.
And they're lighter weight.
And they're lighter
usually
weight.
11 ounce.
Yeah. So, no.
But yeah, it's dress tartans aren't super popular-esque.
Yeah, it's like a few people like them.
Yeah. It's
So-
yeah. That was my not to get product heavy. That was my concern in designing the America 250 tartan was wanting it to be different than the other American tartans, i.e. American Dream and American Heritage, as well as the others that are out there in the world. Yet, but still feeling very, on the nose American for the anniversary. So instead, that's where I came up with the idea of doing it as a kind of a dress tartan-esque, but tan as opposed to white, and kind of toning down the colors into more of a weathered color palette, which worked with the overall kind of colonial-looking vibe I was going for. So we'll ultimately, I'd say dress tartans aren't hugely popular, but it's fine. Mac, any other thoughts?
No, not really. It's. I think you're most of our customers on what I've seen across the board usually like the darker stuff, and when you add that
Yeah.
white, and it just becomes a little
Much.
overpowering.
Yeah. Agreed.
And you can't spill food on it.
Well, you can.
All right, Eric.
Not without consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not without obvious consequences. You said you didn't want to get product heavy,
Too late.
but this is a personal question. Marcus Fumagalli on YouTube asked us, what is your favorite tartan that USA Kilts has ever sold/made? I guess this is one that
Okay.
all three of us
Yeah.
can answer.
We'll bring Mac in for this as well. Mac,
Mac.
out of all of the tartans that we've ever made, which one do we
Sold
like
or
the
made?
best? Yes.
If you say sold, then that's any tartan in existence.
What's the one that sold the best? That's the one I like the most.
There you go.
I mean, as far as my notes would go, American Heritage would be at the top of that sheet. But for me, like Spark,
Spark is your favorite?
I like Spark. That the America 250 tartan is going to be up there as well.
For your personal favorite, not for sales.
Yeah.
We just
No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
as far as that goes, as far as the ones we've designed. Like I'm trying to like Spark is one I have.
Right. Well, I assume you would have it if it's your favorite.
Well, yeah.
All right, Erik.
Huh?
What is your?
I would say it's a toss-up. Not really a toss-up. I mean, obviously my favorite's going to be Nordic Heritage because I have a personal connection to it. After that, I really like Grand Canyon.
Okay.
And it's a very, very recent occurrence, but I think it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So I think that's my favorite from an art standpoint.
Mine would probably be. There's a couple that are kind of standing out. Mine would probably be current favorite. I'll put it that way. Current favorite is probably Back to Nature, because it's not the brown and green isn't a color palette you see a lot, so it's different. It's different than other tartans that are brown and green. Appalachian folklore.
That's my third favorite. It's Appalachian folklore.
Yeah.
So
It's to me it's very, very different shades of brown and green in it.
yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably say that one. I do like the Nordic Heritage as well. I like that pale blue and gray, the kind of cool color palette. The Back to Nature is a very nice warm color palette. And same thing with Grand Canyon. I like that one as well.
Yeah.
But I'd say if I had to pick one, Back to Nature, or America 250.
I'm curious what the comments will say, if anything.
Well, we do have a Spark nod here, an American Dream,
Cool.
in here as well. So
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, let us know down in the comments what your favorite one is, and then we'll know.
Make more of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
All right, Erik. That
was
you.
mine.
Mac.
so we have Stray Cat
Again.
1674. I don't know if we have more than one Stray Cat.
There usually
there's a
is
lot
more
of
than one.
Yeah.
We need to get them neutered.
Is asking what would be the ideal sporran for something like a funeral. We're going to make a hard turn now.
What?
Ideal sporran for a funeral.
Yeah, something
this going on
classy
the
or something
body
a
or
little
on
bit more subdued. I'm assuming attending. I mean, in both cases, you would be attending. It's just a matter of
It's my choice or not.
Yeah.
Whether you get to enjoy the buffet or not afterwards.
All right, I'm going to tell you a quick funeral story.
Oh no!
Grab a carpet square.
Please tell me it's a funny one.
Yes.
Good.
There was a pipe band who there's going to be a lot of redactions in this, unlike the
There
Epstein
was a
files.
pipe band.
So there was a pipe band who told us they needed a horsehair sporran from a very particular sporran maker that we don't normally use. And I said to them, look, we don't use that company anymore. We've had issues with that company. We've had issues with the product. I can get it, but I really don't want to. This is our new sporran maker. This is where I would order it from. And they said, no, that company has the best horsehair sporrans. I need it from that company. And I said, okay, I will order it. But if anything is wrong with it, you bought it. It's I'm just ordering this for you. That's it. And they said, not a problem. That's what we want. So I gave them exactly what they wanted. And the sporran arrived, and pipe band came in to collect it, and we took it out of the box, and the cantle was on squint. It was just a few degrees off of top dead center. And we were looking at it together, and he's just like, yeah, I should have listened to you. And I said, I understood. So they took the sporran, and it bothered them so much that a month later, one of the pipe band members died and was going to be buried in his full outfit. So they took his horsehair sporran and buried the one with the squint cantle with the dead guy just to get it out of the pipe band's closet. So, yes. So that's my amusing sporran story. You bury your sporran with your old kit with the guy who's dead.
Oh, see, now I'm imagining he's haunting their practice site
In a squint cantle.
He was like wanting his sporran back, and there's like 30 sporran sitting in the closet, and it's like that's not it, and that's not it, and that's not it. And just, every night he's there playing something. He's playing a P-Brock out of tune, like.
All right, so
Seriously though, okay. So
to the question at hand.
most tasteful sporran for a funeral. Okay.
If I was going to a funeral, and I was going to wear a kilt, and I generally, if I'm going to a funeral, if the person knew me as someone who wore kilts, or if it was someone that I knew wore kilts, then I would wear a kilt to the funeral. I'd wear a sporran that's appropriate for the outfit. So if I'm wearing a tweed jacket and vest, I'd probably have on a hunting sporran or a day sporran or something like that. I can't see getting like gussied up like Argyle or Prince Charlie with a dress sporran or something like that. It would feel weird.
It's too blingy. I think for most funerals, you're looking at what we'd usually call smart day wear. Black leather instead of brown might be the only thing to consider. But I've seen it wasn't a funeral, it was a viewing, but the last thing like that I went to, I did go kilted. And I think I was wearing a hunting sporran. I think it was a hunting sporran. And
That's what I would do.
you know, and darker colors, but not black like evening dress, you know. So I think you are standing out, unless it's like, again, like a pipe band or a bunch of your Celtic friends and family or something, and other people are in kilts. The fact that you're in a kilt kind of, my experience at least, my impression is that people don't see it as disrespectful. They actually see it as you've done that honor thing, you know, because this is the sacred dress of your ancestors and you're wearing your national dress to honor the person who has passed away. And they're not going to worry about the details so much.
They have bigger things to worry about at a funeral.
Yeah. I mean, I would leave the squeak toy at home. I would leave the Chewbacca head novelty sporran at home.
No whoopee cushions.
No whoopee cushions, unless he was a clown, you know. But yeah, I mean, just I wouldn't bling out. I would consider it subdued, smart day wear. Maybe an Argyle jacket, you know. But and I'm talking about the whole outfit as opposed to just the sporran.
Agreed.
Make sense?
Yes.
Now, let me express my condolences, Stray Cat, if you are actually considering this because you have a funeral to attend. My sympathies.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep it simple, stupid. What? Kiss roll.
I know.
I'm not calling him stupid.
I'm
one of our
sorry
best
for your
questioners.
loss, stupid. In fairness, I did also say that we were going to spay him and neuter him.
Yeah.
For the question, but didn't know that then. Okay.
Stray Cat. Oh, that guy is like, my wife died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Which one? We'll ask the next one, and whatever the one is with the question of the day at the end. I forget which one it was.
What? I think the question.
The question that we flip into the question of the day.
Right. Okay. Well, that would be this one. Okay.
There you go. I'm so happy I asked.
Maybe we should get AI to do this. Matt Horn.
Just the co-chair.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea. Super. Let me help you with that. Matt Horn from Facebook wrote, with the seeming success / popularity of Wilson's of Bannockburn recreation tartans, i.e. like the MacDonald 1820, the Culloden 1746, Stewart Old weathered, Wilson's of Bannockburn, and such, why have none of the mills released a whole collection of Williams of Bannockburn color palette?
Wilson's
palette. They tend to look more visually pleasing to my eyes anyway, and the mills could easily lean into the historical aspect for the sales pitch, same as with the Grant 1714, Glen Affric, as well as the rest of the Genesis collection that House of Edgar did. So he says, I want more Wilsons. So
yeah,
for those of you who are less advanced on the tartan nerddom scale, I guess we should let people know what we're talking about.
So Wilson's of Bannockburn was a mill. No longer exist, but they were a mill back from the 1700s forward, and I think they went out around the early 1900s, and they were the biggest mill by far. Competitors came in, but it was very much a cottage industry, and then Wilson's kind of emerged as the big one.
Yeah.
If they had standard colors, it was essentially modern color palette or similar to modern color palette, meaning like scarlet red, navy blue, a bold yellow. But for green, they would use like a muted kind of olive green color. and that was the Wilson's Bannockburn kind of, I won't say signature colors, but close. There have been some attempts to recreate Wilson's colors from different mills. And, as the question alluded, there's the Grant 1714 that Loch Heron did sort of recently.
Yep.
House of Edgar did a Wilson's Bannockburn tartan in their, the Lost Tartan in their,
The Lost Tartan.
in their
Yep.
Genesis collection. Now, that one didn't have any green. That's a miss from my point. But, and then there's like Strathmore has, Grant, they do Stewart Old, and I want to say they did Fraser.
Yeah, I
they
think
did
Fraser's
4.
the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is one mill that tried some, and I like them personally. I think it's neat. I think it's different. I think there is, with the revival of the history nerddom within tartans. I think there's absolutely a room for it. I mean, like we're, as a company, USA Kilts is kind of swinging the pendulum towards designing new tartans, and on the other end, there's definitely a pendulum swing. Almost, it's the clicker. Like it's one of those things where the balls like whap each other, and it's this goes this way and one goes the other way at the same time.
Ow.
To do the throwback kind of thing, and I think there is absolutely room for some more Wilson's Bannockburn colors and some old tartans to be revived. But there's a question of how much is enough, or how much makes sense for the mills to do commercially. Is it viable for them to come out with it? If Loch Heron has, let's say, how many tartans do you think Loch Heron? Clan tartans.
Oh,
So not saying ancient, modern, muted, weathered,
Just
but just
in
straight
general.
clan tartans. You think they have if they have 750 tartans in Strom in 16 ounce, let's say they have 300 individual
say-
clan tartans. Okay, so if they have 300 clan tartans, does it make sense to come out with 300 clan tartans in Wilson's Bannockburn and increase their tartandom by a third? That's probably a bit much. Strathmore has done it for in the 4 that they've done, which are reasonably popular tartans in Stewart and Grant and Fraser. They've been doing it for 15 years, and they haven't expanded it, so that tells me something. But House of Edgar and Loch Heron starting to dabble in it tells me maybe there is more room.
Didn't we have a graphic to demonstrate the difference?
Yes, I'll show you what I mean by Wilson's Bannockburn colors. Jordan, just bring in. Okay, well, just bring in the middle one. But here's all 3.
So
So the center one right there. This is Strathmore's. This is actually the front of my kilt. That's why it's a little bit wrinkled. That is the Strathmore's version of Stewart Old Wilson's of Bannockburn colors, and this one over here is House of Edgar's Stewart Old Modern. So notice that it's still navy blue, still red. The picture of my kilt's a little bit washed out, so it is bright red. Don't worry. But the green is the real difference here. And then if you look at the one by Erik, that is House of Edgar's muted Wilson's Bannockburn, or excuse me, muted color of Stewart Old. So the Wilson's Bannockburn colors right here in the center. This one kind of splits the difference between the two. So the concern that I would have if I was a mill would be, well, I have modern, I have muted. Do I really need a third one that's kind of very similar? It's just it's right between the two. If anything, they would. If it were my money, I would do something very, very different, very off the reservation. I would do a weathered, which is a completely different color palette, or ancient, not necessarily the one that kind of feels like both of them, but neither of them. So it is distinct from the other two, but is it distinct enough to be able to take that much of a risk? So I think there's room for it. And the question in my mind is there enough of an audience, a consumer groundswell, or does the mill need to drive the decision, or both? So if it were me trying to put it forward of this is something we need to do is things like this, I would say take a custom order, take a group order for for this one or for something different. Obviously, this one already exists, but take a group order for Royal Stewart Wilson's of Bannockburn, or for a different tartan or Black Watch Wilson's of Bannockburn, or something else, and then do that one, and then a few months later do another, and then do another, and kind of build up critical mass that the mills start going, maybe there is something to this. Maybe we can do a couple of these, and get them thinking that way. Psychological tricks. Haha.
And supply and demand,
Yeah.
basically, at its core.
Yes. Mac, how do you feel about Wilson's Bannockburn colors?
Oh, there should be more.
You submitted the question under a pseudonym, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No,
I
he
would
just
have
said
thought
like
about it.
Amen, Hallelujah, or
Yeah,
something
I
like
got
that.
the Amen Hallelujah in there. But yeah, no, I've always liked the Wilson's Bannockburn colors. What about a mill taking maybe the top 5 or the top 6
Or
of
4,
their
like Strathmore.
Well, I don't know if they're the top 4 for them, but that seems to be where my thinking is. A lot of these mills that when they do one of these, they just like shooting a dart against the wall, like, oh, we're gonna do this one.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily. I don't think
It
they're.
sure feels like it from our perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, looking at it from a 5,000-foot view, that's what it seems like.
I'll go off on a little bit of that tangent. I know that what I am concerned about, if I try to talk to Simon from House of Edgar, for instance, Simon's the guy that owns House of Edgar. If I said, hey, Simon, you should do Wilson's Bannockburn colors in a small collection of tartans, I'm concerned that he would have the false negative of, well, we did the one Wilson's Bannockburn as part of the Genesis collection, and it didn't sell as well as this one, or this one, so I'd rather not. And my response would be, yeah, but you picked the brown one. And the reason why they picked the brown one was they were already with a different tartan, and Peter came to them last minute and said, I just found evidence this might not actually be a Wilson's tartan. We should do one that we can verify is a Wilson's Bannockburn tartan. And they changed it, I won't say last minute, but early
Close
enough in the
enough,
process. Yeah.
Well, does anybody have their like swatch books?
Wilson's Bannockburn
Yeah.
swatch books? They
They're
probably
later.
still exist.
There's one from like 1820 or something, I think. That's where they pulled the lost tartan from. It was from the 1820 swatch book, I think.
Yeah. When Wilson's went out of business in the early 1900s, they essentially liquidated and sold everything to private collections. So all of their records, all their letters, all the swatch books, all the stuff, like poof, it just scattered and it went everywhere. So it went into private collector hands. So it's not, I don't know if there are...
The accessibility of it may not
the
be there.
accessibility of any particular swatch
So
book.
it'd be curious to know like what they were, like what was their top 5 at the time or top 10 at the time to see how much it has changed between then and now. I'm sure there's going to be maybe one or two
question.
that are the same, but
Yeah.
the others there may be greater differences.
Black Watch.
Black Watch
Probably
Royal
what they were
Stewart.
selling. Yeah, that's what they were
Yeah, I was
selling.
going to say it would definitely be clan tartans, maybe Black Watch for government purposes.
See,
but-
I'm thinking a different attack. Like, why not intentionally design a tartan that's brand new, that is using the Wilson's palette and making the most of it? I mean, if we all like how the green and the red interact the most, then use that as part of your design. But make something fresh, make something new. So it's even if somebody said, well, it's not, I already have my clan tartan, it's just slightly different from my clan tartan I already have. No, this is new. This is something that's fun and fresh. I mean,
I did I mocked up a Kilts and Culture tartan. Max nodding his head.
Yeah.
I mocked up Kilts and Culture in Wilson's Bannockburn colors. Now, I felt like when I did it, I'm like, it feels weird, a little bit off. I don't know. I wasn't quite too sure on it, but it was Wilson's colors. So now maybe that has to become the question of the day: is how did I feel about that one, which we'll put in after the fact. Would they do Kilt? Would you guys do? Well, we don't have the photo now, so I can't tell.
it's like, how are you going to show them what it looks like?
Time travel. It's
It's
fine.
worth following up on, though, I think,
Yeah.
because
But the other thing, when you designed K&C, you designed it with a weathered palette in mind. You weren't expecting to branch out with it, so you geared it that direction.
It felt weird because it wasn't the thing that I knew, which is what I think what it boils down to. Because when I'm designing a tartan, I'm thinking of that tartan for that tartan's sake and not color shifts on the tartan. So, yeah.
I would pick something commemorative, like if you had, like, I don't know, something like the Prince Regent's, the King's visit to Edinburgh. Some historical event that is cool, and you design the tartan with some symbolism for the event built in, and you do it in Wilson's colors. So you get a double whammy of the interest level. You know what I mean?
Now you got me wanting to design that tartan.
That's kind of the
little
idea.
Scott influence, a little Royal Stewart influence, a little bit of both.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Copyright, no one do it. Okay.
You could also do Scott recovering the crown jewels of Scotland.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anything that happened during his lifetime, you could do. Probably find some
in Wilson's
cool
colors.
You could do it in Wilson's colors. It could be fun.
Interesting. Now, the question of the day is, what tartan would you like to see woven in Wilson's Bannockburn colors? Let me know in the comments what if you had one. Could be clan tartan, could be other. Although I don't know if how many others are really going to work in Wilson's colors. But let me know if you had a particular tartan you would love to see in Wilson's colors. Put it in the comments, and we'll revisit this end of the show. Mac is going to keep tally back there like a freaking accountant. He's going to get the hat on.
Little visor, the little armbands.
Yeah, armbands. Yes.
We just have AI do it. We don't need Mac to do it.
Tartan armbands in Wilson's colors. Okay. All right. Very good. Now we are at the halfway point of the show. I would love to know. Is there a new tartan not in Wilson's colors? Is there a new tartan that maybe one of us have on that we would like to learn about the rationale why it came out? If only we had a video. Maybe we do. 250 years. A remarkable stretch of road, full of triumphs, challenges, and moments that changed the world. As we imagined a tartan to honor America's semi-quincentennial, we reflected on the moments and the people that define us. We are a nation built by those who believe tomorrow can be better than today. Our founding fathers penned the opening chapter, just a sliver in our long story, yet it laid the groundwork for everything we've become. But the real depth of America comes from the generations that followed. We built roads, rails, and bridges that turned distance into possibility. We watched the Wright brothers and the Apollo missions turn gravity into a mere suggestion. We produced icons and leaders who saw injustice and fought for the rights of every American. Our music has echoed across the globe, and our art has invited new ways of interpreting the human experience. Our innovators reimagined communication, medicine, manufacturing, and even the digital world. Our inventions didn't just change American life, they shaped the modern age. America's journey hasn't been perfect. No nation's ever is. But even through hardship and division, there's always been a steady belief that we can keep striving, improving, and building something better. The America 250 tartan is our way of telling that story. Two shades of red reflect the courage and determination woven through our history, not just on battlefields, but in breakthroughs, sacrifices, and the collective will to push forward. Three shades of blue mark our curiosity and growth, from wagon trains to rocket ships, from artists to inventors. The spirit of exploration, discovery, and innovation are ingrained in our DNA. And parchment white, not bright or polished. It speaks to the long way we've come, the trials that we've endured, and the resilience that carries us through. This weathered color palette is a reminder that America's story isn't a simple one. Our legacy has been shaped by 250 years of hard work, sacrifice, and lessons learned. Every scar, every victory, every defeat has made us who we are. This tartan isn't simply the colors of our flag, it's the stories behind them. It acknowledges our past and looks forward to the promise of the next chapter. Because America is more than just dates and milestones. It's an ongoing effort, a shared project, a grand experiment. And as we look to the next 250 years, we strive for what this country can become when we work together to uphold our founding ideals of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. The America 250 tartan is a tribute to our past and a reminder that the story of the United States of America is still being written. So that is our America 250 tartan. That is our celebration of the 250th anniversary of this country, in tartan form.
Ta-da!
So, indeed, this one was it was a little bit difficult for us because I'm being slightly undershooting it there. It was one of those where I didn't want to just do another version of American Dream or of EPU or that kind of thing.
Right.
So we had to go a little bit different, a little bit off the reservation, so to speak. And the amount of white, I wanted to have something, a dress tartan in the collection somewhere without it really being a dress tartan.
Yeah.
So this was kind of our compromise on that.
I think there's this inherent restriction or assumption that an American tartan has to be red, white, and blue also. And I remember we went through a phase of thinking, like, could we introduce other colors? Are there other things you could do that would still have the right vibe for this? And the answer is no. It has to be red, white, and blue. It just has to.
Could it be, could it look like fireworks? Could it look like this or that?
Right. You put in a nature element or somehow, or,
Yeah. There are some of the tartans that are part of this collection are very abstract ideas, or they're things that, that like spark or blue collar for American workers and things like that. It's there you can incorporate and you can work in a bunch of different colors, but there are others like Grand Canyon that is like, nope, it should look like the Grand Canyon and remind you of the Grand Canyon.
Right.
That
Pacific
one
Northwest
does.
should look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this one, it was one of those that was like, if we do add different colors in or add, make it look like fireworks and like, hey, it's a celebration and that's why we did the thing like this. I think there was going to be, our fear was there was going to be pushback on, that doesn't scream 250 years of America to me. So it was one of those where we kind of had to be on the nose for this one specifically. So,
And I think our country, the culture of our nation is usually typecast as being very exuberant, very young in attitude, very a little bit devil may care, and definitely just a
little bit in your face,
and confident stuff. So I think the other thing about this with the anniversary and with the tartan as you did it is that there is actually a level of wisdom that has built up in this country. We have, like the script says, and like the founding fathers said, it was an experiment. It is an ongoing experiment, and we've experienced things in the history of this country which haven't happened other places, not exactly the same. So there is definitely something to be gained from the story of the United States that is unique in the world, and I think that's expressing that wisdom, that maturity. You don't necessarily think of the United States as mature. You think of someplace that's 1,000 years old as mature, but no, maybe not quantity of time, but quality of time. We've been through a lot, and I think we have, we are a mature people in a lot of ways that people don't give us credit for. Does that make sense?
Yes, we're also very immature as far as people, but
yeah, but
it's a little bit about.
I don't know.
But the weathering is,
that's
weather
my point.
Effect.
That's the point of the
That's what
weathering
you're getting
effect.
at.
That's what I'm getting at, basically.
Yeah, it's knowledge, it's experience. It's not all sunshine and roses. It's not bright, bold, shiny and new. We've seen some stuff. We've been through it. So I didn't want it to be a bold red, white, and blue kind of design. I wanted it to have a kind of lived in, beaten down, but still coming out the other side effect to it. So hopefully that comes through in the design. Mr. Mack.
So we got some of the comments are saying it actually looks very colonial. Which
is that Casey?
No, it's actually not Casey. But that was one thing when in the early stages of this, several of us in production were like, we want more of that Americana, more of that dirty look to it.
Tea-stained flag look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a question: is why are we releasing this one so early?
The 250th anniversary of the U.S. obviously is in July of 2026, but we wanted people to actually have it for the anniversary. So that's why we released this one on January 1st, 2nd, was because we wanted people to be able to order it and get it in time for the events and not order it on July 1st and get it in, September and be like, oh, great, the year's almost over now. So that's why we went, beginning of the year with releasing this particular one.
We also have somebody saying that they were meh on it from the picture, from just the static image, but now seeing it in the kilt, seeing it in movement, they're changing their opinion on it a little bit more as well. And then we also have a question on what tweed jacket do you think would go best with that?
That's a good question.
First, let me address the first part of that. I had the same concern when I designed it, knowing that it was going to be lighter and have some white-esque, some putty in it. I was very concerned when I pushed the go button with House of Edgar. It was kind of one of those like, oh, please don't let this suck. Please don't let this suck. And when it came in, I literally, Mac, you were there. I was just like, that's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So, and and I'll put it this way for those of us or those who actually watch the show, I got an 8-yarder in it, not a 5-yarder. So, and just so
vote of
so everyone
confidence
can,
right there.
yes, it is my own vote of confidence because I actually do genuinely like this one. I am going to stand up and show you the back of it. You won't hear me on the mic, but you get to see the pleats. So, that one. So, mine obviously
Whoop,
is
whoop.
pleated to set, and yeah,
I think it was Hamilton who said,
whoop whoop.
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yes, where my dogs at? Whoop whoop.
I think that digital photography, and computer monitors do
A disservice.
most of our tartans a disservice. Honestly, they almost always look better in real life than they do in photography. And it's really hard to capture because it's not three-dimensional. And the way the colors play, just because of the three-dimensionality of thread, makes
And
a
light
huge
reflecting
and light reflecting
versus-
on it makes a huge difference. So yeah, I've had more than one that we've gotten in. I was like, oh wow, okay, and then we take photos of it and try to match it, and then Marty gets ready to blow his brains out, and just like, and it's a challenge. It is a challenge. Order a swatch of anything you want from us just to be on the safe side. Always recommend that. So the tweed question.
And Mac, this is
sorry.
when we are cutting swatches, I'm 98% positive, but I'm saying it on camera as well. When we are cutting swatches, specifically of this one, make sure that we give them a full
range. Yep.
Yeah, a full range so they can see all the colors.
We're trying to
and
do that
see
on all of them.
how they play together. Yeah, we normally do, but I just wanted to be very specific about this one because of the putty kind of shades in there.
Putty, putty,
So,
putty.
Tweed to wear with this. I would probably no.
No, actually,
Yeah.
it's too greenish
Yeah.
compared to that. Yeah.
It makes the putty look too yellow.
Yeah.
If you wear gray with it, I would honestly probably do. I'd probably do Loman blue or something like if there's a neutral, lighter blue that doesn't have like no green flecks in it.
I'd go with a brown tweed.
Brown would be
your
good. Yeah.
brown
Yeah.
leathers look fantastic with it.
Yeah.
I would lean into that.
Yeah.
That'll tone the parchment down a little bit and make it more
Yeah.
tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could brighten it a bit, though.
Yeah.
Would be my only
I think a
concern.
tannish brown with maybe some yellow flecks in it.
I mean, the red. If you went with something red, that would be a little harder.
I was thinking that too,
It'd be
like
much.
like the Loganberry or something.
But I think
the
you'd almost,
cranberry.
if you did it as a vest or as a waistcoat, and did a Loman blue jacket,
Yeah.
kind of mix.
Okay, Uncle Sam.
I'm
not.
But the tone.
I get it.
It comes with a free Captain America shield while you're at it.
Captain America kilt pins are gonna go.
Kilt belt
they're gonna
buckle.
sell off the shelves this year.
Yeah. I would probably do a lemon blue.
Yeah,
Maybe a gray could work okay.
not this gray for sure.
Or
but
charcoal, like a dark. Yeah.
charcoal goes with anything.
Yeah. I'm looking at the
no
one on
color.
your shoulder there, the gray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Braemar
Yeah.
or whatever. No, yeah, gray Braemar.
Yeah, gray Braemar. All right. So that's that. Any other thoughts or comments on it? Anyone say like, "Oh my God, it's horrible. What are they doing?"
No, I haven't seen that. Somebody did say they still like American Dream and EPU more than that one. But for the most part, it's been very, very positive comments.
Yeah. It's the big difference, I will say, between this and American Dream. American Dream feels very muted when you look at it.
Kind
And
of
then
dual toning.
you put it next to this, and it looks a lot more modern. It's a lot brighter, American Dream is, than
Yeah.
this. This definitely has a nice, muted, weathered kind of...
Now, would you
How-
wear?
No. Shut your mouth. No.
You knew where David Barr was going to go with
Yes.
this.
Would you wear an American Dream vest and jacket with the A250 kilt? No. There's a special place in Hades for people like David Barr doing that.
Now, what's that painting of the fife and drum and the flag, the
Spirit of 76.
Spirit of
painting?
76 painting? You do that and have one person in EPU, one person in American Dream, and one person in this.
Okay. Just
That's what I want to
You
do.
and Mac, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but
down.
EPU is a lot lighter.
It is.
And the red
is.
is more of a rust than
Yeah,
than
it's
that
the same
maroon.
blue. It's the same blue in the EPU.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lighter blue in there too? That's lighter than that one.
Yeah, it's two shades of blue.
Yeah.
Two main shades
We were
of
trying to
blue.
get EPU to feel more like the Continental Army uniform.
Yeah.
So, but
Interesting. Okay. All right. Enough of this banter. Mac, give me a question from out there in the interwebs.
All right, we have Janet asking, can marled yarn be used in a weathered or ancient kilt? And then she's also asking, what's the difference between a weathered and an ancient kilt?
Sure. Marled yarn, could it be used? Sure. Weathered, let me back up half a step. So weathered, ancient, modern, and muted are just color palettes. It's like a Jeep Wrangler in blue versus a Jeep Wrangler in green versus a Jeep Wrangler in red. They are all Jeep Wranglers, but it's just a shift on the color. So what's the difference between ancient and weathered? Ancient is lighter colors. So instead of red, scarlet red of a modern, it looks like it's, kind of old, like it's old plant dyes that have kind of aged. So it's kind of faded to an orange,
Right.
or a dark blue that's kind of faded to a lighter blue, or a dark green that's faded to a lighter green. When you're looking at a weathered color palette, it's supposed to look like it's literally been, pulled out of a peat bog or laid out for, 100 years out in nature kind of thing. So the green turns to a brown kind of color. The navy blue turns to like a gray, kind of gunmetal gray color. So it's all of these things are inventions of mills. It's basically, there was a Wilson's Bannockburn color palette that was kind of standardized. Colors were kind of standardized through about the mid-1920s, 19-teens. And then one mill got the idea of, hey, what if we did an ancient color palette and made lighter colors for people who want something that's a little bit lighter as opposed to dark. And so black watch, but lighter green and lighter blue. And then they kind of said, okay, well, now we'll call these ancient to look like old plant dyes, and we'll call the other ones modern to mimic modern alkaline dyes. Mm-hmm. And then in the 1950s, a mill named DC Dalgleish said, well, we're going to we have this piece. This is a marketing story. It's not actually true, but
Yeah.
we have this piece of cloth that we pulled out of a bog, and look, we've recreated the colors just so, and we're going to call them reproduction colors, which they copyrighted so other mills use the term weathered to mean reproduction. So it's basically just the mills playing with the colors of the tartan, making it lighter or darker or whatever to give you a different effect and to be able to sell something different to the consumers, offer different products. Because not everyone wants navy blue. Some people may want lighter blue. Now, marled yarns are something kind of a little bit newer, a little bit different as far as tartans go. So yes, you could introduce a marled color of blue or a marled color of green or a marled color gray into a weathered color palette if you like. It wouldn't change the design if it's still green. So if it's still gray. So if you have Stewart Old weathered and you change the gray out for a marled gray, it's still Stewart Old weathered, just with a marled gray. Or if you had Blackwatch and you changed out the green for a marled green, it's still Blackwatch with a marled green. So it's not effectively changing the what the tartan is, because it still visibly looks like Blackwatch. You're just tweaking small details to make it a variant, a color variant, a marled variant of Blackwatch.
But should you? Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should. Your kilt makers were so busy trying to figure out whether they could do something, they didn't stop to think whether they should. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And scene.
I think, to me, marled threads tend to add a fuzziness to your visual focus. So I think that sometimes you can play around with that effect. You can make the other colors, which are not marled, pop, and things that are marled just kind of like subdue a little bit. So we've talked about this before. Like, I've said, what if you mixed a marled yarn for this or that? And I was like, nah, it's gonna make it look weird. I mean, you can almost play around with the three-dimensionality of the design, how other parts of it pop. So where do you use marled thread for the whole thing? Do you use marled thread for part of it, like the background, or just for an accent stripe, or what? I mean, what do you think is the best way to use marled thread? Don't.
No. I've seen it used in all of them, or almost all, like 80 to 100% of the yarns in some of House of Edgar's Hebridean collection.
Hebridean collection, yeah.
Yeah, they're a claret one. That one looks good. There's a few of them that look good in our sterling gray that we used to have in wool. We use marled threads for pretty much all of it. That looked good. I've seen varying degrees of success. So I've seen some that I'm kind of like, nah, I wouldn't do it. I think mixing the marled in with the other versus big block of marled, big block of not.
Yeah.
That is where I think it fails.
So equal weight.
Yes.
Makes the problem.
There's the marled hunting or Wallace hunting. And the greens are not marled and the grays are, but it's like essentially 50-50. That, and it's a hard separated 50-50. Versus if the marled went into the other area. I think it's a little bit better looking. So yeah, I think it can be done. It can be done.
It has been done
neatly. It has been.
Wouldn't the example be Nordic?
Yeah,
we did. We used marled gray in Nordic Heritage. And I think, but it's not. It's maybe a third or a quarter of the.
I just brought the tartan up to see.
It's probably a third, but we had the transition into the blue, so there's the marling in the transition.
Yeah.
So I think that helps it. Versus being the hard, the hard border, where when it is a hard border like that, to me it looks like it's the marled is floating above or below the other.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
And it's remember the 3D, the stereograms that you stare at, and the picture pops out. It feels like that. You're not going to get it, so don't stare for too long. But it feels like that to me.
Yeah.
So, but there's nothing actually there. So that's why I don't like it. In that way. But adding it adds a complexity. It adds a je ne sais quoi.
Spice.
A spice, exactly. And it almost gives the visual effect of what you think tweed would feel like without it actually being tweed. So I think it's a neat thing to use. I think it's fun to use it in particular things, but I don't think it should be overused all the time.
I agree, sir.
Cheers, Mac.
I agree.
So the other ones that came to my mind were the old Irish crests that you did,
Right.
Because that was kind of a similar balance in there, where you combined a normal palette with with the marled threads.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
It was.
I can't even remember what most of those look
Mac
like.
keeps bringing them up. He wants them to come back.
I just remember the Ulster one.
Some of them
Out of
were,
all.
yeah, some of them were really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay. Did that answer the question? We rambled.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I think she asked, can it be done? And the answer is yes.
Sure. All right, Erik.
Okay. Right. Okay. Noah Barnett, or Barnett, Barnett, from Facebook said he would love it if you, Erik Munnerson, could talk about the clan plant badge that had come up in discussion on the group recently.
Yes,
yeah.
regale us with your stories.
It's not that complicated, to be honest. But the point is, somebody had posed a picture of I think it was a Balmoral with a cap badge and a pheasant feather in it. And so the discussion went on for some time about whether you should do that or not. Feathers typically are a symbol of rank in clan societies. And a pheasant feather is not one of the feathers that typically is flagged as being an insignia. But it's easy for people to think maybe it's supposed to be. And they don't quite get that it's not any feather. It's supposed to be an eagle feather or an approximation of an eagle feather, which symbolizes the rank. So what do you do if you want to have a feather, a little extra pizzazz? And different ideas got batted around. And I said, well, why don't you do a plant badge? I mean, we live in the age of plastic plants. You could actually have one that you never have to worry about replacing because it's artificial. So why not have that as part of your kit? And so, Noah and I guess a couple other people are just wondering, well, what's the deal with plant badges? They were a legit thing. I at one time had thought that they were more of a modern affectation, like so many things that we deal with of the Victorians. It turns out they were guilty of codifying it, and taking it to the nth degree, the way they did with everything, because they loved categorizing. But plant badges actually have been documented as far back as the late 16th and 17th century. I think it's, I wrote it down because I always forget his name, Martin, in his description of the Western Islands and
How do you
Highlands.
Forget Martin? He's the man with two first names.
Because he's the man with two first names. Because I'm horrible with names. Because I'm dyslexic.
I have no idea what
Don't
you're talking
hire a
about.
dyslexic historian, okay? But he wrote in 1703. This is one of the earliest travel logs of Scotland, okay? And he mentioned then, and there were some other writers who did too, how clansmen would use a piece of a local plant to stick into their hats as an identifier, particularly in a battlefield situation or, team sports. But the idea was that it was cheap, free, it was easy to obtain, and different groups just adopted it because it was an easy way to. It's like shirts and skins, in the Highlands, basically. It's like, okay, they're all wearing a fern in their hat, so we'll all wear a thistle, and that way you know who to hit. That's basically what it was. And again, by the late 18th and well into the 19th century, it gets codified. Logan in the Scottish Gael in 1830. See, I do remember one without looking. He has it all.
It's a book.
It's a book, sorry. And the McKeon prints, same thing. Basically, they just list it out as this is the official thing and has been since the beginning of time. And I guess some clans probably didn't actually have one, but then suddenly in the Victorian age, everybody's got to have one, so here you go. The point is they're legit, and they're actually older than the use of a clan crest badge, like the whole thing everybody wears with the, the design inside the heraldic belt is actually a more recent invention. It dates to after the proscriptions were lifted. So again, it's another way to differentiate yourself and to show off your pride in your clan. It's extremely historic. And I figured, what the heck? People don't seem to do it that much anymore. Rocky seemed to think you had some anecdote about the fighting 69th.
The Irish Brigade with the boxwoods.
The boxwoods of and
Yeah.
then we knew. I've seen there's a comment here that somebody wears juniper.
But would it actually be something that identifies the person in battle? It's not like, I'm thinking like heraldic shield, where, okay, that's a big visual representation of who I am.
We're talking up close. We're talking up close and personal,
I understand,
obviously.
but it's, are you really going into battle like, huh, okay, I can kill you?
No, because it was part of a system. It was basically you had the plant badge, but then you also had the war cry. The war cry is as important and even older probably than the plant badges. But basically, you went in yelling, the war cry of the clan was. Sometimes it was just the family name, if you didn't have one. But it was a way of confirmation up close, I think.
But
and honestly, there's something
minutes
to be said for esprit de corps also. I mean, whether it's practical or not on the battlefield, if it helps psychologically draw your men together before the battle, then it's useful. You know what I mean?
I remember Jamesy talking about bagpipes, and in his mind, bagpipes would be like the amp up music of the day. Like this is how you get men psyched up for battle. I am not doubting you, but in my brain, I'm saying, you did a lot more research than I would.
It's a thing they did.
I know it feels weird to have like a tiny little. It'd be like judging people today on like collar dogs. Oh, are those collar dogs different?
You're making an assumption about the size. It's entirely possible these guys had a pretty sizable sprig. I mean, we don't know how big. I mean, some of them are like oak leaves. You're only going to have so big an oak leaf, but
I can't see myself knowing botany that well to be able to judge.
You're a modern person living in a carpentered world.
But it's no different than a shoulder patch.
Right.
Because everyone's wearing the same thing. So it's just, that's your identifier to your group. So even though everybody's wearing the same uniform, the shoulder patches are different. Or we're going back to Civil War, and they have the boxwood in there. They're all wearing blue uniforms, and it's something as an identifier.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to bet that if you were a neighbor clan and you knew that so-and-so was using juniper, you would try to find something that would be very obviously not juniper. That would be easier for you as someone who lives in the environment and knows all these plants like the back of your hand. You're like, okay, this looks as unlike juniper as possible. What's always gotten me about plant badges is like, what do you do in the winter? Nobody's using them in the winter, but again, fighting was often seasonal pre-modernly also. So
well, and according to this comment, all ancient Scots were expert botanists, and they could tell a one leaf or twig from another at 100 yards. So.
It's true.
Now, with the Irish Brigade and the boxwood thing, isn't that kind of the misnomer? They did, like, one guy might have actually done it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not a whole like.
It's not as much of a thing as people make it out to be a thing.
It's.
Yeah.
You've got
a little wishy-washy.
You've got at least two documentable sources from the 17th century saying it's a thing, and then you have mentions of plants being associated with clans in folk songs, which go back to the Middle Ages. You don't have a reference of them wearing them, but you do have poems and songs where the MacLeods, the mighty oaks, or whatever, where their clans were associated with plants. Back then, it's a song, so there's nothing that apparently has been written. It's like, and he stuck a pine tree on his head and went into battle.
I believe the officialness of clan I am clan chief of MacLeod, and I'm going to choose oak as our clan. Any nation has a national symbol, the eagle, or or the thistle for Scotland, or whatever it is. Like, I could see that. It's where it falls. Again, I don't know. Where my spidey senses start to tingle is as an identifier of a person in a high-stress situation, close quarters battle, where there's a bunch of arms and swords flailing.
I can agree.
Like, I'm not stopping to check. Like, that's...
Okay, but I can tell you this. In the SCA, at Pennsic War, anyone who's allied with the East Kingdom will have some blue tape on their helm, and anybody who's allied with the Mid-Realm Well, I've red tape. Now it's color coded, so it's a lot easier to spot, I admit. But it's not necessarily a lot. I mean, it's just like a couple of spots here, here, and here. And you figure it out pretty damn quick.
Fair.
So, I don't know. I mean, in a modern context, again, I think it could be fun and festive. I think it'd be a great thing to see at festivals, at volunteers at clan tents using it. It's another point of conversation. It's a cool thing, which I think a lot of people have never heard of. The fact that this came up in our group being evidence, is like, it's really cool, and it's very pleasantly barbaric. I love it for that, So I don't know.
It's a talking point.
It is a talking point.
Why do you have some leaves in your hat? Oh,
I think it would work. I personally think it would work.
Okay.
But,
I mean, to kind of go on your point a little bit, Rocky, how much of it was just, how much of it documented is them leaving a particular area and loved ones giving them a piece of home to leave.
It's a bit of good luck.
Sure.
Yeah, so you have that, not necessarily is worn in combat all the time, but it's a little piece of home that you're taking with you.
It's like
my wife didn't give me a branch.
but no, you're right. I mean, and that you're making me think of women giving the men flowers as they marched off in World War One.
Yep.
You get your Edelweiss, or you get your Daisy or whatever, and it's like, yeah.
You see tons of photos of the Germans with them stuck in the end of the barrel.
Exactly. I think there's a psychological factor to this that's as important or more important and maybe more legit than inspection before you take the shot. So
Yeah.
Anyway, why not? It's fun. Go for it.
We should ask ChatGPT. No. Okay. All right. That was
big cedar tree.
It is a log.
You know who did it the best? Was the Japanese, because they invented the sashimono, which is basically a flag that you'd wear on the back of your armor, and even low-ranking soldiers were given them. They're mass-produced, and it's like so a general could sit up on the hill and just see all of his guys in an instant. You could tell what was going on. Yeah. Sorry, nothing to do with Scotland, but I love Japan.
I got nowhere to go with that. All right, Mac.
Alrighty, we got Mad Pup 1 UK. It says, I have an old pre-beer belly kilt, been losing weight, and finally get into it with extenders.
Okay.
That's a side note. The under apron only covers my right leg. What is the cutoff point where for the under apron covers how far can he move?
Are you flashing people? Like that's literally the cutoff for most people. I would. So it's a kilt that's too small, so he's wearing it.
Right.
Now, the front apron should essentially have your gig line, the stripe down the center of the front apron. So if it's too small, your front apron is not going to go full hip to hip. It's going to be in the center a little bit more. The cutoff for me would be essentially like if you were wearing jeans, the edge of your right side back pocket. If you have a flat apron and the right side of that back pocket was where the back pocket would be, if that is pleats, you're fine. If the center or the left side of the back pocket is still flat apron, that's too much. That's my ballpark.
Sure.
Off the cuff.
If you're
thought.
using extenders and you're at the end of what an extender can accomplish for you, are you still able to consider a buckle move, or is you beyond the pale at that point?
Well, extenders typically are about yay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what's the
about
difference
yay
between
long.
an extender.
So measure that on your screen. So about
Have your
yay.
wife measure it.
How much do you think an extender would actually extend? 5 or 6 inches?
That's kind of where I was thinking.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that.
But we only do buckle moves to a maximum usually of what?
10%.
Okay.
So it depends on what the original size was. I'd say if you're, it's a what is your tolerance for looking disheveled versus perfection. So anytime you put on a pair of kilt extender straps, It's not perfect. It's not great. It's how good enough is good enough. So I'd say if you're on the the last hole on your strap and the last hole on the extender straps, some people may say that's it's fine. It still connects. You're good. Other people may go, I'd want to see a little bit less of flatness.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably in the territory of relegating this to a secondary kilt, something you use for.
Well, he's shrinking back down into it.
Oh, he's shrinking down into it. So
Keep shrinking.
Oh, right. Okay, so, okay.
So
I still think you should buy another
loss.
kilt. He should.
Maybe.
Don't you think you should buy another kilt, Rocky?
Especially when his last name ends in UK. Buy the America 250 collection. You're celebrating the dissolution. It's the memory, the good old days.
It's still red, white, and blue.
That's fair. So, the selling American tartans to Brits, that'd be great. That's my new goal.
I believe you could do it, Rocky. You could sell ice to Eskimos.
I do my best.
No, but seriously, I mean, is it your only kilt? I guess that's the question. Is it your only kilt? Is it your only option right now? But is there a weight goal in mind? How long do you need to tolerate the situation?
If you're wearing it for formal, maybe I'd have one that's a little closer to your actual measurements. If you're just wearing it as part of Tartan Army or going out to the pub or whatever, then sure, it's fine. No one's going to care at that point.
Yeah.
Mac.
This will hurt a little bit, Rocky. Mad Pup did say they are a Rangers fan.
Different Rangers.
Well, it just says Rangers fan.
Yeah, understood.
But
I'm assuming it's
I know,
Glasgow,
but I
it's
automatically went to New
Celtics
York.
And Rangers, Celtics and Rangers, not the New York Rangers. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, ooh, that's.
Yeah. If you're a Rangers fan from the UK, so football or soccer for our American friends, then yes, this would do very nicely. If you're in the US, don't you dare wear this with a New York Rangers hockey jersey. You're horrible people. All right, Mac. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, I was just brought up the Rangers thing. That's all I was doing.
He's like, oh, what?
Deer in headlights. Was that last question yours?
That was
Yes.
his.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Very good. I hope that helped. There you go, Eric.
Okay. The one, the only 5'20" Moose. Moose from Reddit says, for day wear, should you always match your vest / waistcoat and jacket, or is it acceptable to wear different colors? For example, a charcoal tweed jacket with a Lomond blue tweed vest. Would that be okay? I mean, assuming both colors complement the kilt. Also, as a kilter of unusual size, coming in at 6'8" and 270 pounds. Am I better off getting my full measurements for this jacket and vest and calling in my order, or hoping a 50 long will work for me? So the second part of that is actually easy to answer.
Yeah. So, if you are 6'8", i.e., or also 5'20", I see what you did there, buddy. That's why he was 5'20" Moose, because he's a big. Okay. So
That's his wrestling name, actually.
Indeed. So, if you are 6'8", a regular long, unless you have like short arms for 6'8", a regular long is not going to do you. I would say you're going to be an extra long or an extra long at that height. Reality, I would say order something that is stock from the manufacturer. Like if you're going to order from us, order a 50 long Argyle jacket and vest and see how much longer you need it on your arms, and then we can judge it based on that. Or take a well-fitting jacket that you already have and then say, okay, my sleeve length from the shoulder seam all the way down the outside to the bottom of the cuff is X. What does that equate to for a jacket from you? Is that a 50 extra long or a 50 extra, double extra long? Kind of narrow it in that way before you order something custom like a tweed jacket and vest. Now, so that's that. For can you wear a two-tone, a different color tweed jacket from a different color tweed vest with whatever kilt? Sure. I mean, I've done it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Seen it done well. Seen it done poorly as well.
Right.
So I think you're kind of on target with the making sure that they either tone well with the colors in the kilt and or tone well with each other. So making sure if you get a light blue jacket and jacket that has no green in it, a dark green or a dark blue, like Loman blue, tweed jacket with a light Lovett blue where there's green and blue in it together. Maybe I wouldn't do that necessarily.
Yeah,
you want it to visually work together
Right.
as well as with the kilt. If you had if I'm wearing the American 250 tartan I have on here, what I would do, back to the earlier thing, at the risk of being like over the top, Uncle Sam, a Loman blue, a dark blue jacket with maybe a dark blue, a claret, vest to kind of pick up two different colors in the kilt. Erik, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't have any additional thoughts really, except that part of me wants to say make sure that the jacket is the more subdued color. If there's any dramatic difference, like the brighter color, save the brighter or more vivid
For the
color for the underlayer.
pop.
Yeah, so you get that pop and it's not overwhelming. But even that, depending on what you're choosing, could be in the eye of the beholder. But that's kind of how I would.
Yeah, taken
Work
to
it.
an extreme, I would say think of it this way: if you're going to get a red doublet and or vest, or a red argyle and a red vest, or a black argyle and red vest, and kind of swap out the parts, I'd rather see a red vest and a black argyle for the pop of color than a red jacket and a black vest. So I'm on board with your thoughts on which one should be louder or not.
Yeah, I always think in those terms of like the color should be a pop. I'd rather yeah.
I agree.
That's it.
Mac, did you want to add something, or you?
So there was, I think, 3 of us that did it at the recent Christmas party.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Do we have any pictures
To
of that?
dig out those pictures.
Ian does, so we could probably insert that somewhere on the screen.
Ian was quite the shutterbug that night. He took a lot of pictures.
Yes, totally adorable.
Yep.
Okay. So, can it be done? Yes, 100%. Varying degrees of success, but look at yourself in a mirror before you go out in public.
Always the best advice.
Yes, indeed. All right. That was you?
That was me.
Mr. Mac.
All right, was some scuttle on the chat about well, first before I get to that question, 5 foot 20-inch Moose did ask when we were going to see Gritty in a kilt.
I would love to see Gritty in a kilt.
We tried that once, didn't you? Try to, or you want to get Gritty's attention.
I thought about getting actually when we had our customer appreciation party for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
I thought about hiring either Gritty or the Philly Fanatic to come to the event. Like I honestly looked into it. What I found out with Gritty is you're not allowed to publicize the event, you're not allowed to record the event, and you're not allowed to use, if you did record anything, it could be personal photos, but you couldn't use it for any official company stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, never mind. So I cared, but not that much. Yes, I forget whether the Philly Fanatic was quite as restrictive, but I knew Gritty was.
It was also Gritty was pretty brand new at that point too.
That's 2023, so not quite
Okay.
brand new.
Maybe I'm thinking of an earlier attempt that we tried too.
An earlier party. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyway, question.
The question was about the two-tone hose.
Okay.
Are we going to see more of them in the future?
Sure.
What do you mean? In like different color options, or you mean?
I'm assuming they mean that. Yeah.
Yeah. So someone were saying they were happy they got the purple and charcoal ones, and now I'm assuming with the 250 we have the red and blue ones are back.
Yep.
Is there other options that we're looking at?
Are there other options that we're looking at? No.
Safety orange and forest green.
Yes. The honest issue is, the honest response is that the issue that we're running into is when it comes to the yarn colors from House of Cheviot, there's a very limited stock supply of their yarns. They don't do a crazy amount of different yarn shades, and worse, like the marled yarns that they do, they don't allow the marled yarns to be used in specific types of hose. So it's like 4 threads or something woven together, so it's too thick for the machine to do certain things. There's mechanical reasons why they can't do it.
Interesting.
But they do some marled yarns which look really, really cool, but they'll do them in like the Rannoch or the Harris hose, but they won't do them in Lewis. But they have a very limited range. We ordered when we sat down, like the department head sat down
a while ago.
and came up with like 10 different color combos.
Our wish list.
Our wish list,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And we ordered a sample pair of each one, and I still have them in my office. And then we showed them all on the Kilts and Culture group and said, okay, let's vote on these. And people voted on them, and some of them were just like straight losers. No. Some of them, and some of mine, in fairness, but there were very clear winners and very clear losers of color combinations. If there's a particular color combination you're looking for, let me know. I'd be curious what other people want to see for two-tone hose color combinations.
Yeah,
but
hey.
it has to match a good amount of tartans, which is kind of the point. That's why the standard colors are gray and charcoal, navy and bottle green for modern color tartans, and ancient blue and ancient green for ancient color tartans. So, yeah, there's not a lot of great outside of that, aside from very, very, very specific niche things like, the navy and red, which match this, or the dark green and brown, which match like Back to Nature and that kind of thing.
But then you can also use flashes as an extra accent there too.
Very good point.
Like the spark, like you have the dark charcoal and the light gray, and use a pair of yellow flashes to give that little bit of color there too.
Yep. Agreed. So, don't have a whole lot of plans to release a bunch more. Never say never, but I'm curious if there's a particular color combination that you guys would want. Let me know in the comments. All right, Mac, give me one more from you if you have any more, and if not, we'll go to Erik for the last question. Then we'll do the review.
So we have our good friend Lonnie.
What's up, Lonnie?
Is asking about measuring for a sporran chain to get the size in length right. What is the best way to do that? Are we counting links, or are we like?
Yes, we count all the links, Lonnie. That's what we do. We count. Ian has nothing better to do all day, nor Allie, nor Trey. They just sit in the back counting chain links. Now, it's generally speaking, when someone orders a sporran and says, hey, my waist measurement is X, 44, whatever it is, we'll make sure that the sporran chain we are picking is kind of the 44. We try to pick it so that it's in that range. It's, you can lose a few or gain a few. We try to find something it's in the middle of the range, so we're not just really like pigeonholing the person into like, well, this is the last hole on this particular one, so that's what you get. We want to make sure they have a little bit of gaining or losing ability. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Erik, we'll do one more quick one with you.
A quick one, or a good one?
Yes.
All right, I'm doing a good one.
Do the worst question you have.
What is God?
That's an easy one.
That's an easy one. All right. Michael Curie 71 from YouTube said he would love it if we could address the no Black Argyle or Prince Charlie before dinner time thing, which he heard while he was in Edinburgh for the riding of the marches. Is this a Scottish thing or a Scottish Highland dress thing to only wear tweed during the day and then go formal black at night? While waiting for the ceremony to start, one of the other participants looked at me in my black Argyle and chuckled and said aloud, it's bad form to wear black before dinner.
Why isn't there an English guy in Scotland?
Because snob voices
fair.
are always English.
That's fair.
I don't know.
So, were you in bad form? Did you offend the Scots in your presence that had to suffer through the audacity of someone wearing black
Embarrassing.
before 6? How dare you, sir? How dare you? We should just end the show right there. Is it a thing? Is it a rule that you're not supposed to wear black? Supposed to before 6. It's reserved for after 6 informal events. Yeah.
Technically,
yeah, sure. I would say in this scenario, based on the quote, yours is not the greater sin. It was the person pointing it out to you. If someone literally that you don't know is pointing it out in that way with a chuckle, you know it's bad form not to wear. To quote Winston Churchill, I would say, do you know it's bad form to point these things out in public? What if you went to Scotland and you only had enough room in your suitcase for that one thing, for one outfit, and you're going to be wearing it for something after 6 o'clock as well? Like, if you're going to a wedding that is a 3 o'clock in the afternoon wedding, but the reception starts at 6 o'clock or the cocktail hour starts at 6, do you bring 2 jackets? Like, where does it go? Where do you end? What's good enough? I would say to someone I didn't know, I really don't care what you have to say. Like, you're never going to see that guy again, that participant again. I would honestly have said, I was actually on the plane. I only had enough room in the luggage for one outfit for this particular event, and I'm going to be doing something later. So that's why, if I felt the need to respond to the guy, and then I would probably also say, why did you feel the need to point it out? Do you really need to be superior? Is that why you needed to point it out to me? Because, good job, I guess, buddy. Like, you can die now, like, fulfilled in your life's mission. In some moments in life, you just have to let it go. You have to, like water off a duck's back. You got to just, smile and nod. Like, yeah, okay, cool. And you can't let it get to you. So I hope it didn't get to you. I hope it didn't ruin your time. I hope you enjoyed the marching of the horses or whatever it was called, which we looked into.
Riding
it's kind of riding in the marches. It's kind of a cool thing. Horses ride around Edinburgh to, mark the outside of the city or something. And it's a very, very, very old tradition I had never heard of. So thank you for the question. But no, is it a sin? It's a minor. It's not a cardinal sin. It's a minor sin. You're not going to hell. You're fine. Erik.
No, I mean, if I've seen anybody breaking that rule over the years, it's definitely Scots. I mean, especially even in people in an official capacity, and maybe they get a nod because if they're the MC of an event or something. But a lot of time it's just like, yeah, this is my jacket. We talk about how mismatched some Scots outfits can be, and it's because, well, why would I change? This is my jacket. My jacket is my jacket, and that's all it's gonna. This is my jacket.
This is my sporran.
Exactly.
I'm wearing a day sporran for a formal event because this is the sporran
we see it
that
happen
I own
all the time.
Yep.
Did you change into black for evening dress? Yes. Did people stop really worrying about that after World War II? Yes. Except for very high echelons of society, but for most occasions, yeah. Would it be nice to do? Yes. Is it more aesthetically pleasing to be in tweeds during the day and then be in nice, smooth, elegant black in the evening? Yes. Is wearing black a little bit tacky? I don't know. I don't really think so. You could say it. I'd rather you do that than wear a tweed suit to a black tie affair in the evening. I mean,
I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed.
Exactly. The reverse is a far worse sin, in my opinion.
Yep.
So this guy should just go have a Coke and a smile.
And for the record, the number of, looking at today's rental industry in Scotland, or the hire industry, looking at the age of the people who are renting stuff for weddings, who can't necessarily afford to go out and buy 4 different outfits for different levels of formality, I will guarantee you, a 10-to-1 odds that the majority of Scots getting married or going to weddings are wearing tweed jackets and vests to evening weddings or evening receptions that are after 6 o'clock. I really hope this guy goes to every single one of them and and flogs them as well.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I hope he kicks a Lego or kicks a leg chair with his pinky toe one in the middle of the dark going to the bathroom too. And steps on a Lego with the other foot.
Yeah.
People need to mind their own friggin' business.
Pictures don't lie. Pictures don't lie. I mean, and it's an outdoor event. It's a public event. Whatever. I mean, if it were a formal dinner and you're committing a faux pas, or if you're in very rarefied company, like you're having dinner with the clan chief and the mayor of London, or something like that, then yeah, you pay more attention to this stuff. But if you're traveling, I'm assuming this is an American who is traveling overseas, not a native.
And by far the greater sin is his. By far the greater sin is pointing out someone else's flaw in a gauche, frankly, a douchey manner. Like when we talk about going to a festival and somebody's wearing a kilt with the pleats in the front. Check the tape, boys and girls. Go back in time. Every single time we talk about it, I don't say go up to them and point at them and laugh, ha ha, Nelson. Ha ha. And like, why are you wearing your pleats in the back, you idiot? You're supposed to wear it in the front. It's you take them aside and you say, hey, do you mind if I point something out? Typically, you wear the pleats in the back. You do it in a calm, kind manner off to the side. There's a difference between being, kind and being nice, and kind is saying the thing to correct it or to let them know that they're doing something a little bit off or a little bit outside the norm, but you don't do it in a jerk way. You don't embarrass them in front of other people. That is by far the greater sin in this scenario.
And in this case, it's not something you could change anyway. With the pleat example, they can go and rotate their kilt around, but with this, it's like, okay, this is...
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, if you know the person, maybe you say, hey, I know it's a special occasion for you and you didn't know, but just a word of advice, next time you might want to consider bringing a different jacket. Just saying. But honestly, the really classy people will just snub you because you're not worth their time or consideration. You don't exist. So, I mean, yeah.
Or they just have too much manners to bring it up.
That's the thing.
You think
yes.
and it does. There's a filter between here and here. You don't say the freaking thing if the person can't change it. B, you're going to embarrass them.
Right.
There's a certain level of class that this man obviously did not have. And I will also point out, it doesn't matter where you are. U.S., Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, or Scotland. There are jerks in every culture. You happen to find one. I'm sorry you had that experience.
Or Iceland. Or the Philippines, or this place.
There's no jerks here, though.
We're
all nice people.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Mac, how did people... Why don't you go knock that over there? Thank you. How did people answer the question of the day?
Are we going to bring the question of the day back up?
We're going to bring back up on screen right there. Bam, Johnny on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
What tartan would you like to see woven in Wilson's Bannockburn colors?
So we had quite a few come in. And Duncan was the first one to come in.
Duncan.
Okay. We had Campbell. We had McInnes Hunting.
Okay.
We had
Any
Gunn.
multiples?
We only had one. We only had one multiple.
Okay.
And do you want to take a guess what that multiple was?
MacDonald.
No.
Damn.
Wilson.
I would love to see... That actually is perfect. I would love to see Wilson's redone in Wilson's Bannockburn color palette in a smaller set size that's not this freaking big.
Yes.
And Mac is 100% agreeing with me from a kilt maker's perspective. Okay. All right. Boys and girls, thank you for joining us. Let us know down in the comments if you have any other tartans you want to see in Wilson's Bannockburn colors. And until next time, Slàinte Thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you want to support our channel, we have an entire retail store where you can buy all kinds of stuff, and it helps us out over at usakilts.com.
Because you're tammed if you do and tammed if you don't. No. Yeah, that's the jazz whiskey. Tamdhu-be-doo, doo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo. Tamdhu.
So bad. So bad.